France's Prime Minister, Sébastien Lecornu, has announced his government intends to ban the importation of hunting trophies from threatened species. Mr. Prime Minister, before you make that decision, I think you need to understand something about the people who will live with the consequences of it. I have spent years working in rural Africa, including some incredibly remote communities in Zambia. Many of these people are subsistence farmers. They live off the land, their crops, and the natural resources around them, including wildlife. When the rains don't come, their crops can fail. When elephants or other wildlife destroy those crops, there is no crop insurance policy to make the family whole. Their governments often don't have the financial resources we take for granted in the West, and there isn't always a UN agency or NGO standing by to replace what those families have lost. That is why sustainable use matters. When wildlife is legally and scientifically managed, properly regulated, and the benefits reach local people, sustainable use can create significant economic value in some of the most remote places on Earth. It can provide meat, employment, revenue, and most importantly, an economic reason for people to conserve wildlife and its habitat. That's not simply my opinion. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, the IUCN, recognizes sustainable use as an important tool for conservation and development and has specifically recognized that well-managed hunting can create incentives for conserving species and wildlife while providing benefits to rural communities. So what happens when wealthy Western governments begin removing that value? People still have to survive. If legal wildlife use no longer benefits them and the families become desperate, wildlife can still be killed for food or income. The difference is that unregulated illegal harvest isn't conservation. Wildlife is a finite renewable resource. Continue taking from it without management, and eventually the resource can disappear. Then what? That's the question we confronted while making Killing the Shepherd in rural Zambia. We documented the human consequences of extreme poverty and food insecurity, including families confronting child marriage as a means of survival. So, Mr. Prime Minister, I have a very serious question for you. If France knowingly adopts a policy that removes economic value from wildlife without replacing the benefits rural communities receive from that wildlife, have you considered the human consequences? Because if those consequences contribute to deeper poverty, greater food insecurity, and conditions in which another young girl is married off simply so her family can survive, then I will have no problem calling you a child bride creator. Is that what you want attached to your name in this policy? If France believes sustainable use should be taken away from rural African communities, then show us the science. Show us the economic replacement. Show us how wildlife will remain valuable enough to conserve, and explain how the people living with that wildlife will be better off because of your decision. Because making policy from Paris is easy. Living with the consequences in rural Africa is something entirely different. Conservation without human dignity is not conservation. Remember, folks, Mother Nature doesn't practice conservation, the wise use of a natural resource. People do. Thank you.